What is up, lads? It's CM9 here. So, if I haven't said it already, I'm going to go ahead and say it now. Happy New Year. Welcome to 2020. So, we started 2020 with one of those games. So, basically the game I'm trying to explain here is, it's not one of those games where we're actually trying to get the first goal of the game and get into the lead and maybe build upon that lead. No. What this is we've already got the lead. All we need to do is kill the game off. And we have chance after chance after chance. And we don't get it. We don't go 2-0 up. Instead, we have to wait until the last 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes of the game, and our opposition get a worldie. And they equalise. It's one of those games. We've seen so many of these games in the past, and I tell you something, it's been a while since we've seen one. It has been a while since we've seen one. Why can't we kill teams off? Why? What is it about our mentality that says to us, you know what, 1-0's enough. You know, we can go through the entire game without getting a hinge, without getting anything, without getting a problem, and we can see out a 1-0 win. Yeah, it's alright, guys. We'll have a few chances up front. We won't create anything. And then we'll see, hopefully, if we're, in the last 10 minutes, we're actually able to keep a clean sheet. Like, what kind of mentality is that? Seriously. That is not good enough. You should be able, with the players on the pitch, you should be able to get the job done. Get a second goal, kill the game off, and we can't even do that. And we drop points. Because, I will say this, Brighton's equaliser was a fantastic bicycle kick. It was a great. It came from a set piece. Shock horror. But that bicycle kick, you have to say that was incredible. That was incredible. What a equaliser for them. But it's just that moment when you think to yourself, you start to question our mentality up front. You start to question guys like Mason Mount, who, by the way, Mason Mount was just absolutely shite. I'm sorry. Mason Mount has to get a grip. He has to get his arse in gear, because right now he's not good. He's not doing good enough. Mason Mount today, I felt he was the biggest weak link in our front. Because the truth is, there's two things about Mason Mount that I just don't like. The first thing, when he has the ball and he has so many options ahead of him, he doesn't think to look up. And yet he just goes for a shot. A pointless shot. And he doesn't do anything with the ball. The other thing is, he complements what I said before about him looking up at his options. The only problem is, he overdoes the pass. That's two things I don't like about Mason Mount. He is utterly poor, and he really needs to work on his game right now, because at the moment, he's not good enough. I kept asking Frank Lampard countlessly to get him off and put Kovacic on. Eventually he did, but then Kovacic started to give away free kicks for Brighton late in the game, which resulted in a massive Brighton surge right at the end. Pulisic was all right. That was his first game back because he missed the Arsenal game. So I was hoping that Christian Pulisic would do something. He was okay. He wasn't great. He was okay. He did put runs in early in the game. We were taking initiative of the game. We did take a hold on the game. This is in the first half. The first half was good because we got the early goal through Azpilicueta. And it looked as though we had control of the game. But this is the thing. I go back to what I was saying earlier in the video. Why do we not kill the game off? And then later on in the first half, Brighton suddenly, while it's still 1-0, they're thinking, okay, we've got more of a chance here. So they gradually create chances for themselves. And this is what I mean. This is the reason why you need to kill games off. Because, if you get the first goal, great. But if you get the second goal, it gives them hardly any chance to get back into it. Kepa in goal. Let's talk about Kepa. Because Kepa, if it weren't for Kepa at the back, we'd have been losing this game. 2 incredible saves at the end. Well, when it was 1-0 to us at the time, Kepa made a ridiculous save from, I think Brighton took a set piece. The guy turned and then shot. And then Kepa, with great reactions, great save. He couldn't do anything with the bicycle kick. When the bicycle kick went in, Kepa just stood still. The ball went straight in the corner. Again, I just want to reiterate, great equaliser. That was a world-class, great effort to be able to take that bicycle kick on and then put it into the corner. That was a great goal. But then, it was at that moment Brighton and Hove Albion suddenly got a surge, and it looked as though, maybe 2 minutes left on the clock, 2 minutes to go, they had another chance, and Kepa again, with an absolute amazing save. If that had gone in, Because at that point, we'd looked dead. We looked tired out. We had lack of ideas. We were looking like a team that were holding out for a draw. This is not what we were asking for. This is not exactly what we want to see when you're 1-0 up. If you'd have killed the game off earlier, if you'd have got a goal, if you'd have made it 2-0, we wouldn't be having this. Like, why can't we kill games off against small teams? And this questions our ability. Can we make it top 4 this season? I don't think we can. If you look at the schedule that we have to take on a little bit later on in the season, we still got to play Spurs. I think there's another home game against Arsenal. There's a Man City game in there. There's 2 games in the Champions League against Bayern Munich. That schedule, I'm talking about that schedule. If we can't get the important points against the small teams, against teams that we should be beating, how the hell are we going to take on that schedule? It's going to be difficult. It's going to be really difficult to keep that top 4 position. It's just so frustrating when you're a Chelsea fan and you're 1-0 up. All you got to do, get a goal. And you can't even do that. And then right up at the other end, you concede from the set piece. Like, how many times have we seen this? I know it's been a while since we've seen it. Normally, we watch games where Chelsea can't even get a lot of games at Stamford Bridge this season. We've seen that Chelsea just can't get a goal because our mentality up front, our creativity up front is just not there. And then right at the other end, they get a goal. And we lose the game. This time around, we do get the goal, but it's all about trying to kill the game off. And we can't even do that. And then, well, yeah. Anyway, the team lineup. So Kepa was in goal. Like I said, if it weren't for Kepa, we'd have been losing today. Reece James, Rudiger, Kurt Zouma and Azpilicueta as our defence. I have to give credit where it's due though. Despite conceding the late goal, and yes, we didn't get a clean sheet today, but I have to say our defence was pretty solid today. I want to state the positive today because I think the defence today, despite conceding, Zouma looked very good. Rudiger looked very, very solid. You know what I was saying about Rudiger needs to command that back line? I think he did pretty well there. I think he did excellent. Kurt Zouma and Rudiger, very, very solid centre-back partnership. Azpilicueta, you could say, was... like, he can't go forward. Like, Azpilicueta could not go forward today. He can't. He just can't do it. But he can defend. He can defend. I will have to give credit. Reece James as well. Again, showed a little bit of his, shall we say, defensive qualities. I mean, look, listen, right? You might disagree with me here, but you have to be honest. Despite conceding late on, our defence, pretty much our backline was pretty solid today. N'Golo Kante was all right. So was Jorginho. Like, Jorginho in the second half, there were times where he looked a little bit sloppy. Jorginho, he looked more present in the first half, especially when we were taking control of the game. But as the game went on, he just gradually just plummeted. He started making some mistakes. He started looking sloppy. And this is where I was going in about Brighton and Hove Albion, just gradually getting themselves in the game. Because when you think, when you're 1-0 up, and you give opposition an incentive that it's still 1-0, and there's an opportunity that you may get a goal to nick a point, maybe even 3 points, teams just suddenly get an incentive. They start to give themselves a little bit of hope. And that's what we got today. Let's talk about the front line. Willian did his bit today. I have to be honest. Willian was all right. But then again, like a lot of players in that game, sort of tired himself out. This was at a time when Brighton suddenly got themselves back into it. The front line just did not have anything. They just lacked any kind of urgency. They lacked any kind of creativity. Mason Mount, as I said earlier, was poor. It was he needs to buck his ideas up, Mason Mount. I haven't been impressed with him in the last few games. He's been really, really poor. When we talk about players that should be playing on merit, I think he needs to be dropped. I think Kovacic needs to start in the next game. I think the next game is against Nottingham Forest in the FA Cup. So I think there will be players that will get dropped. I think maybe the youth team will play against Nottingham Forest, I think. I don't know. But no, I think Mason Mount needs to be dropped a few games because he just does not play enough. He doesn't do enough. There needs to be incentive in place where Lampard suddenly has to drop players because they're not doing enough, so that the players can think, okay, I've been dropped, so I need to up my game. I need to bug my ideas up. Kovacic needs to start. And I understand that Kovacic was responsible for giving away a lot of free kicks late on in the game, which resulted in Brighton's surge. But I think Kovacic and Jorginho need to sit back and they need to command that midfield, and they need to do that because, I'm sorry, but Mason Mount just offers nothing. He doesn't. There's times where he tries to go for a shot when he doesn't look up and he doesn't look at his options. And And there are other times where he does actually become creative, but then suddenly he overdoes a pass, or he misplaces something, or he just doesn't do anything. He just dwells on the ball too much. Tammy Abraham. I've forgotten about talking about Tammy Abraham. I thought he struggled a little bit, but there were times where he held the ball up really, really well. So I guess you could say there are good things about him and there are bad things about him. Bad things about him because he didn't get the service. He didn't have an opportunity on goal. There were times where he had the ball crossed into the penalty box, but there's just nobody on the end of it. He doesn't get into the spaces that's required to find a goal. If you look for the spaces into the penalty box and you wait for the guy to cross it, you need to get onto the end of it. You need to get onto the ball and head the ball in. We couldn't do that today. There were times where Pulisic had an opportunity and he missed it. There were times where Willian had a chance and he missed it. It was really, really frustrating to watch as a Chelsea fan in that second half because there were so many chances that we could have put away to kill the game off and we didn't do it. And that was what was so frustrating about today. Yeah, it was just one of those games. We cannot kill the small teams off. And then when you get one chance at the other end, they take it. And then they give an opportunity for themselves. And we could have lost the game today. Had it not been for Kepa's saves right at the end, we could have easily lost today. We've dropped 2 points. It's not good enough. And you think to yourself, are we good enough for top 4 this season? Well, no, because we can't finish teams off. We can't finish the lesser teams off. And now we've got this schedule. I'll tell you what, 2020 is going to be one hell of a roller coaster ride. So I hope you're ready. Because Bayern Munich are coming up, 2 legs. Arsenal are coming up. I know we've beaten them already, but when you think we're playing them at Stamford Bridge, that could be difficult. Man United, I think we've got to play. Everton, we've got to play. Bournemouth, we've got to play. So it's not an easy schedule. It really, really isn't. And if we can't get a job done here, then what hope have we got of getting top 4? Lampard has got a big, fat headache. And I'm hoping that if Frank Lampard is going out for players in January, I hope it's a set of strikers. Because players like Hudson-Odoi, I've forgotten about Hudson-Odoi as well. Hudson-Odoi, he came off for Pulisic. And he was poor. There was a lack of urgency with him as well. There was nothing from him either. I honestly forgot to talk about him as well. So, yeah. Just to summarise. Just can't finish teams off. What the hell? I mean, now we've got this schedule. Thank you very much for watching this video, guys. Yeah. Happy New Year once again. I hope 2020, regardless of whether you're watching Chelsea or not, I hope that 2020 brings you happiness and joy and good health. So, yeah, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching this video. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Make sure you check out all of my gaming channel as well, Chris Modder Games, and also follow me on all of my social medias, which will be in the description box down below. Thank you very much for watching this video. Until the next video, guys, I shall see you later. Hey, and peace.